Hello and welcome to a product review, and today we're going to be reviewing the Feiyu A1000 Gimbal for mirrorless cameras. This is up to 1.7K. Right, hello and welcome to a product review. This is a product review for the Feiyu A1000 Gimbal. This is for mirrorless cameras. There is a A2000 which is for higher weight cameras, DSLRs, but this is mirrorless, so this smaller payload, and it can deal with the payload up to 1.7 kilo. So this is the box, you can see. Now I've already undone the box because I recorded this earlier and I realized that I hadn't pressed record. Anyway, so this is take two, as they say. So there's the box, which we don't need. But inside the box is a very nice case. And it feels very much, quality. It feels like it's the same as the bat-shaped ones for the G5 and the Summon. And when we're talking about mirrorless cameras, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be putting my new M6, EOS M6, which has the external microphone, which is a Rode mic, connected up with the cable here into the internal microphone socket. It has a flip-up screen as well, so we have to bear that in mind, that when we're vlogging, it's got to be able to see yourself. It's got an 11-22 lens on it, which is, the lens actually costs nearly as much as the camera. Ridiculous price. Canon, you're a rip-off merchant, you really are. Anyway, so the box, when you open it, it's got all the stuff inside, obviously, and there's a zipped area which I didn't see earlier, but there's obviously the paperwork inside there. Yeah, all the paperwork and guarantee. That's nice. Then we'll look at that later. Put the back in there so we don't lose it. Okay, so inside, in this cardboard box here, which I opened, there are the following. There's a USB, mini USB. I can never tell what they are these days. There's so many different types. There's this camera this gimbal was put Sony, Panasonic, and Canon. However, there's no cable for the Canon to control the shutter. There is a cable there which I presume is for either Panasonic or the Sony. It's got like a special plug on the end of it. and a 2-pole audio, so that's that. Then there is a very useful audio to USB, which I thought was quite useful. Presume that's to charge, because I think it can charge the battery on the Sony. And then we got a very useful 4-pole to 3-pole cable adapter, which I thought was quite useful because I was looking for one the other day. Inside the case there are the 4 batteries. These are, I was trying to see if they were the same as another set of batteries I've got, but I think they're actually bigger. But this is the 18650 2200 milliamps 3.7, and I was just seeing if they were the same as these ones, which is the Xeon Tech batteries, which I'm just going to get out of the bag and have a look and see. 18650 3.7 2000 milliamps, so they're not the same. They're not quite the same. Not quite the same, but they are the same size. So, because I've got several sets of those. So it means that you would always have batteries charged up. Anyway, so there's 2 sets of batteries. It only requires 2 batteries. Battery charger, it does 2 batteries at a time. Very similar to the charger I purchased. There is a very nice tripod, like a propeller, and it's quite stable. Then we have the hand, the whole, what do they call it? I don't know what they would call it. There is a protective cap for the end of it, but it doesn't stay on, so I don't know what you're supposed to do with that. That's great. Anyway, so this goes on to the end of this. Well, it would do if I could get it on there. That's better. So when you open it up, it does sort of stand quite nice. And then, last but not least, we have the actual gubbins, which I've had out once, and let's put it back away again. Anyway, it's good practice for unloading, isn't it? So this is the 3-axis gimbal, and obviously you put your camera on here. There is a base plate, but it doesn't actually come totally off the. Well, I haven't. It might do if I screw it in, I suppose. Screw that in a little bit, might go in, might come off. But I was playing with it earlier, and I don't think it actually comes off the gimbal, which is annoying. I'm sure it's supposed to, so I'll have to look into that. It might do when it's screwed into the camera. It might come off because there's a little gap, and you can't see that, but there is a little gap underneath there, so it could be. Now this, with the connectors on it, will fit into this connectors onto there, and it's quite fiddly. So let's have another go, see if we can get this connected up. So you have to line them up. There's 4 pillars. 4 pillars, and then you have to raise this ring and try not to get it cross-threaded, because it doesn't actually seem, it doesn't seem very sort of easy to do and a bit stiff. It could do with some grease, I think, or some oil just to loosen off. But once it's on, it's tight, and I did have trouble trying to get the thing off earlier, because obviously I had to put it away again. The actual gimbal, the rear motor, is actually set back so that when you've got your camera on there, you can actually see the screen, because the motor is lower. So unlike the other gimbals where you can't see the screen, this one you can. So there's a USB on the side here for charging and also for updating. There is a quarter thread, or is it on the side there, and also on the back there's a quarter thread and a quarter thread in the bottom of the handle where the tripod is. Then there's three buttons on there. There's a joystick on-off button, and this is the shutter button taking pictures, which I don't think I'm going to be able to use on my camera, because as I say, it supports Sony and Panasonic. I believe I read if I read the information correctly, but the mode on-off button is the middle button, and these gimbals are actually all very similar for Feiyu, because they all have the three buttons, with the one with the joystick, which it goes all 4 directions, and then the mode button. And the lower button varies on, like on the Summon, it starts and stops recording. Well, a bit like this one would do if it was connected, but it's not actually going to work, is it? Anyway, let's get back. I'll come back to you in a moment when I've got the camera on and see if we can balance it, and then we'll take some footage of it around the house maybe, and just have a look at, see what the footage is like. Right, come back in a moment. Right then, so we're in record mode. However, there is a slight issue. It's not quite balanced correctly, and basically it's vibrating. Don't believe what they say about balancing, because it's rubbish. It's not easy, it's not quick, and I've just spent 30 minutes trying to get this thing balanced, and really it is very, very difficult. Although at the moment it's not shaking, but it was earlier, and I'm not sure which axis, or which axis is there you go, see it's shaking now. I've lifted it off the table, I've lifted it up, and you probably can't tell. Maybe you can't tell, I don't know. But that definitely is vibrating on the camera. I have to say that the camera itself and the gimbal is really, really heavy. And I'm doing it one-handed, but you really wouldn't want to carry this around for too far. And if you move the joystick, then you can find it stops vibrating. But that is actually quite, and there's a rocker switch on the back here, which I don't know what it does, but it's annoying. Anyway, it's vibrating like hell. It's vibrating like hell. So this is my lounge. So we're probably going to have to go back to the drawing board. You can see it's quite good, apart from the shake, which, yeah, and this is the, so you can see that on the bed there's pretty much shake, but it's really, really heavy. I mean, literally. Very, very heavy. So I've been watching some videos on YouTube how to set this up. There definitely is something going on with that. And if you find a sweet spot there, it stops vibrating. So and of course I've got the problem of with the Canon, if you have the battery, if you take the battery out, obviously because the battery's not going to last forever, you have to recharge the battery. Well, I've only got one battery at the moment. Then you're going to muck up the whole positioning on the gimbal. So yeah. Probably going to tell you that I'm a bit disappointed, because all of the videos they think it's like 2-minute job and you're all done. Very simple. I mean, it does balance quite well, but it's not balanced enough because it's vibrating, and yeah. What happens if I press that? Nothing. It's not connected. Don't know. No idea. Don't see how it's going to work because it's not actually plugged in anywhere. So, apart from that, we have a oh, and interestingly, this one, you press down, it goes down, and you press up, it goes up. Unlike the Summon and the G5, and it's all made by Feiyu, so I think that's pretty annoying. You have to remember to, if you want to go down on the Summon, you have to press the thing up. It's really, really annoying. I've filmed with it today, and yeah. But anyway, the fluffy mic, I've got the mic. Now if I let's just do one more test. I'll lift the camera and see if it vibrates. Yes, it does, it vibrates, so it's obviously not balanced. And if I move it up a little bit, it stops vibrating. So somewhere on the line it is it's not balanced. Anyway, that's it. I'm going to see if I can play around with it, but that is the initial test. So I have had a little play with it again and rebalanced, and it was as if the screws come undone. So I've done it again, and hopefully this time. We had a little bit of shake when I first turned it on, but apart from that it was alright. I mean, I can't see doing it like this, vlogging like this is going to be practical, because this is really killing my wrist. I can see it being more of a video camera like this, where you're shooting maybe you're shooting plants and things like this, so you're maybe doing vlogging. So far so good. But that's one thing I did notice about the switch. The up is up and down is down on this, which is brilliant because it means that you haven't got to bloody remember which way to do it. And of course, if I it's set for the widest angle, so if I zoom, it's going to muck up the balance. But this is actually, it's not vibrated since I turned it on. So I can see that this is this would be good for making videos, I think. And it's really, really heavy. I know, because it's killing my wrist. It's killing my wrist. But, you can see that's basically and let's go back into the office. Well, there we go. So it's successfully balanced now, but for how long I don't know, because I just checked the nuts are all done up. But yes, there we go. So successfully balanced, but it's flipping heavy, really is. So it's the good old GoPro, which has got a flat battery now. I'll have to change the batteries on that. Of course, the Canon camera has got a charged battery at the moment, but you know, yet to take it out and charge it up yet. So that'll probably throw it off when I take it out. But that looks like the retaining nut has come out. I'm looking a bit below the camera there. I think that's why it's moved, is because the retaining nut on the plate into the camera, you can't tighten it up very well, and it's come undone. And I think, as far as I can tell, it's hanging down.